Coding felt like a mountain I could never climb. I was stuck, I was confused, I was overwhelmed. And then there was the comparison trap as well. Imagine battling with something and you keep seeing people doing it so effortlessly. You see posts like I built XYZ in 24 hours. It's crazy. I was like, okay, it's looking like this thing is for extremely smart people. And maybe I'm not just smart. And there's the incredible loop of endless things to learn. It was crazy. I am Demisola, a software developer in Nigeria. In this video, I'm going to be sharing you the mistakes that I made while starting out and tips that can turn coding from being a frustrating experience into being a journey of growth for you. So let's get started. One of the mistakes I made earlier on was skipping the basic. I get it. There is an overwhelmingly amount of tools and frameworks out there, and the average person is just eager to just dive in. And that was me. I was still struggling to understand some key JavaScript concepts, and I'd already jumped. I had flipped into learning a framework. I was already writing Vue even before I fully understood JavaScript. There's often this eagerness to get ahead, but here's what I've learned. You have to master the basics before diving into advanced concepts. If you don't understand the fundamentals, you don't understand variables, you don't understand functions and all of these things, you will constantly feel lost. Constantly. When I first started coding, I made the mistake of focusing too much on learning a language, which is not totally bad in itself. I would memorize syntax, I would follow tutorial word for word. Every single step the person in that tutorial takes, I would take it. If they breathe, I will breathe. And I felt like I was making progress. Guys, I memorized the syntax for for loops. It's not totally bad in itself, but that shouldn't be the focus. So it affected me when it got to the point of solving real problems. I was stuck at that point because I had not actually learned to program. I had only learned to copy and paste and repeat and memorize. Programming is not about memorizing syntax. It is about how to think logically, how to solve problems. Think of it as a language. The syntax are just words. Programming itself is the grammar, the rule of the language. So instead of focusing solely on syntax, invest more time in understanding the concept itself, the concept of looping, you know, understanding data structures, understanding algorithms, how they work, why they work the way they work. That is where the real magic of coding begins. Trying to learn everything at once will slow you down. So just pick one language, pick one skill, pick one framework at a time and stick to it till you get it. Don't try to learn two languages at the same time. Don't try to learn JavaScript and Python together. Don't try to learn two different frameworks at the same time. Focus on one and give yourself time to understand it. Having a learning roadmap helps you to prioritize, helps you to stay on track. Don't forget, coding is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Focus on your progress, not on perfection. Take it one step at a time. When I started learning how to code, I was watching tutorials. Hey, if there was an award for best in watching tutorial, I would have been the one to collect it. After tutorial, I would follow along. I would code the exact same thing. I thought I was making progress. But the minute I tried to create something on my own, I would freeze. So I was practically stuck in tutorial hell. Not to dismiss tutorials, I watch tutorials myself. I still watch tutorials and I make tutorials as well. So I'm not dismissing them. They are great for guidance, but they can't be a substitute for hands-on practice. The key to using tutorials is to take what you have learned and apply it. Build your own project, even if it's something simple that uses the concept from that tutorial, and try to figure out things on your own. So break out of tutorial hell. Close that video for now. Open your code editor and start building something. Errors used to scare me. Every time I see a red wall or a red line of text in my console or in my terminal, it felt like I had failed. Why is the whole world against me? But this is what I've learned. Errors are not your enemies. Think of them as clues. They are not there to stop you. They are there to guide you, to know what the problem is. So take out your time to read and understand your errors. Most of the time, they will tell you exactly what went wrong. And if they don't, they will at least point you in the right direction of what went wrong. If you don't understand the error, go on Google, search for it. Someone else has probably encountered that error before. Go and meet ChatGPT. And also, don't forget that debugging is not about just fixing an error. It's not that you paste your code to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will help you to correct it and that's about it. No, you have to understand why that error occurred, how it was resolved. Don't just copy and paste the solution. Understand the solution as well. And just for more clarity, resources like Stack Overflow, like ChatGPT, they are very, 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 very useful. But as I grow in my career, I'm learning that nothing beats the official documentation. I had an issue with, I don't know, was it Reactable or something? I can't remember the two. And I kept going on Stack Overflow, asking ChatGPT. And meanwhile, there was already an update to the documentation. I just had to like look at the documentation. Everyone learns differently. Understand your unique learning style. For me, documentation can be a bit overwhelming at first. There are so many technical terms, so many technical jargon everywhere. So it can be a bit overwhelming for me, especially if I don't have an underlying knowledge of the concept of the tool or whatever it is. So what works best for me is getting a quick video at first or an article. So I start with that and then I move on to the documentation. That's just my pattern. It might be different for you. So you have to understand your learning pattern and use it efficiently for yourself. So it's not a one size fit all scenario. Just understand yourself and know what works for you. Some people are visual learners. They learn best with, videos, animation, diagrams. Some people can literally just jump into the documentation and understand whatever it is talking about. Whatever your own style is, embrace it and use it to your advantage. Big problems are often difficult to deal with. So you must learn to break your problem down. Break it down. When I started learning how to code, I would just dive in. Now I write, like I would literally take notes. I have notes, sticky notes on my workspace. So I would literally break it down and take a note. I want to write a function that does this, but there is a conditional, there is this. I just break it down. Do I have to like create a different component and all of that? So breaking down whatever it is you want to do or whatever problem you have makes it manageable. And also it helps you to seek help properly. If you don't understand the problem, you won't be able to get proper help for yourself. You can't just be saying my code doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work. That's what I used to say when I started. I would go and meet my brother. I would just tell him my code doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But if you've broken down the problem, you will at least be able to pinpoint something. I'm trying to loop through this array, and my logic for checking for duplicate is not working. That's a clear problem. It's not just my code does not work. My code is not working. That's very vague. Or my array is not doing this. No, no, no. You have to like be able to pinpoint, and breaking down your problem helps you to be able to like pinpoint whatever it is you're doing. Coding can be very exciting. Imagine having a job where you have new challenges every day. It is exciting, but it can also be very draining. I've been there. There were times when I would sit at my workspace, this is my workspace area. I would sit here for hours into the night just trying to like get one thing done. I'll keep pushing myself and staying up late at night. I've come to realize that that's pushing yourself to the limit. You will break down. You will burn out because I actually burnt out. You will. And in the end, you will not be able to even do quality work. So give it your best, but always remember to take breaks. Sometimes just take a minute away from your screen, take a minute away from your device, take a walk and come back. Go to your kitchen and come back. That's my key. I always go to the kitchen to find something and just like take like 10 minutes and then I come back. The truth is, our brains are not designed to work non-stop. We are not machines. So always listen to your body, prioritize your health. Breaks are a part of the process. They are not a setback. They are a part of the process. So that's about it on this video. If you're into tech, you have an interest in coding, why are you not yet subscribed to this channel? Why? Please like and comment and subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in my next video.